so today I have swatches of the Essie Fall 2018 collection. There are 6 polishes here altogether. I found 5 of these on the Ulta website like a while back, and as of right now they still only have 5 of the polishes on the website. And then my husband, bless his heart, on his lunch hour went to the Ulta that's across from where he works and found the 6th polish in store for me. So 6 polishes here altogether, and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called It Takes a West Village, and this is this lighter dusty pink cream. So this is actually the first video that I'm showing, or that I'm swatching Essie's with the new brush, and honestly, it is like miles and miles better than the old brush, but almost like with the KL polish brush, this is like a little too wide for me. I would have liked something in between this and the old brush, but as long as they don't ever go back to their old brush, I can adapt. The formula on this is really good, and as you can see, it's practically a one coater. I'm just going to add another one just for a few little darker streaks that I have. Just a side note, look at that. I just had Zoya's Jenna over here from their fall collection sitting on my desk because I just swatched this, and I noticed that these two colors are almost identical, just a little tiny bit lighter on the Essie, but I don't think close enough to warrant getting both. The Essie video is going to be up before the Zoya video is, but I mean, I just noticed this by chance. Wanted to point it out. Even though I do have some like slight complaints about the width of this brush, it is so much easier to put the polish on my nails with this brush than with the last one. I'm just having to be careful to wipe a bit more polish off into the bottle than I would normally, which is just habit that I'm going to have to break just because I don't want too much polish on these wide brushes. This does seem to dry a little bit darker than it applies, and it does cover completely on those 2 coats, but I think if you're not picky, you could probably get away with 1. So that is 2 coats of It Takes a West Village. So the next polish is called Fall for NYC, and I really thought this was a mustard yellow, and I was all excited. Even after I got it in my hands, I thought it was a yellow, and then I started seeing people's swatches go up, and I saw a couple people refer to it as orange, and it started making me question like what I believed. And then the China Glaze Fall collection came, and here is a mustard yellow from that collection. When you put the two together, the Essie like really looks orange. So I guess it's going to depend on your personal opinion, but I don't think Essie put out another yellow in this polish. So this is another one with fantastic coverage, which I think is, I would say like maybe even 30% of the good coverage I can attribute to the new brush. Because I think of how many more brush strokes I would have to do if this brush was really thin, and I don't think this polish would perform like this if these still had the old brushes. Not quite a one coater for me, but very, very close. I do have a couple of streaks and good formula on this as well. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats, and it's another one that dries a little bit darker than it applies. And I know Essie's formulas in the past have always been pretty hit or miss, but I really think that this wide brush is going to give the perception that their formulas are a little bit better. I always wondered if their formulas weren't as bad as we all thought they were, if it was just they were the victim of a really terrible brush. But that being said, China Glaze has a skinny-ish brush as well, and they don't seem to have the same like reputation that Essie has for hit or miss formulas. So who knows? But that is 2 coats of Fall for NYC. The next polish is called Stop, Drop, and Shop, and this is a dustier kind of raspberry cream. So this one is also super opaque on that first coat, and I am trying to get a lot of polish off of that brush because it holds a lot. I can still see a little tiny bit of nail line, but this does cover completely even. I just want the color to get a little bit darker with the second coat, but really good formula on this one. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats, and it gets much deeper as well. It looks like this one's probably going to dry, after 2 coats, will dry the same color. It's not going to dry darker or lighter. It doesn't seem like it's going to dry any darker than it applies. So that is 2 coats of Stop, Drop, and Shop. The next polish is called Empire Shade of Mind, and this is a silver metallic. I think the metallics here are going to especially benefit from this wide brush because it's so much easier to avoid really bad brush strokes if you don't have a little tiny brush that you have to put on the nail 5 or 6 times to cover the whole thing. So this is covering really, really well. Brush strokes are completely under control. The formula is really good, and I have no light spots or nail lines showing at all, so this one seems like a pretty solid one coater. So that is one coat of Empire Shade of Mind. The next polish is called Say It Ain't SoHo, and this is a really like fiery, super burnt orange metallic. So you can see this one is definitely more of a like foil style metallic than the last one. It has those really sparkly bits in there. That gives the polish a little bit more dimension, and it also helps cut down on brush strokes because it breaks up the streaks that you would get from the bristles of the brush. Formula on this one is good. I think you might be able to get away with one coat, but I'm going to do 2. I just have a few slightly lighter than the rest of the nail spots that I want to cover up. So this one does cover completely in 2 coats. It was really close in one. I just felt like I just barely needed that second coat. I also just got a little too comfortable with that wide brush and flooded 2 nails in a row. So that is 2 coats of Say It Ain't SoHo. And the last polish is called Booties On Broadway, and this is a really, really dark blue. I did want to show it next to After Schoolboy Blazer because that's one of my favorite Essies because it's an almost black, really, really, really dark blue. Booties on Broadway is just like slightly more obviously blue. I think it's much less likely to be confused for black. So, and I mean the shade is a little bit different as well, but I'm leaning towards maybe even liking Booties on Broadway more just because it's not going to be confused for black, which used to be what I really liked about After Schoolboy Blazer, but I guess my tastes are changing. So this one is super, super opaque, and I'm trying to be extra careful with this wide brush because a color this dark is not going to be very forgiving. This is definitely a solid one coat polish. I'm not even sure if I could get like streaks or light spots in this if I tried. And a really good formula as well. It's not thick at all for a one coater, which is really nice, and it's pretty easy to control. I'm extra paranoid right now because of this wide brush and the dark color, but I'm not having any issues putting it where I want it and it's staying where I put it. All I wanted from Essie was a wide brush, and then here I am criticizing it. Okay, like I said in the very beginning of the video, it's still better than the thin one. But that is one coat of Booties on Broadway. I was really pleasantly surprised by quite a few of these. I had kind of forgotten that they were going to have a wide brush, so when I first started swatching them, I was kind of like shocked when I opened up the bottle. Let's see, Fall for NYC. I got really excited about this because I really thought this was going to be like a mustard yellow, and I showed you in the video. But after sticking it next to the mustard yellow in the China Glaze Fall collection, it's more orange. I was excited to see Essie come out with the yellow because they did come out with the yellow in the Gel Couture range earlier this year, and I thought, shoot, 2 yellow Essies in a year. I think it's more orange, but I still really like it. It's a little out of the box for Essie. Say It Ain't SoHo, I really like. It's nice in the bottle, but I wasn't expecting to like it as much on my nails as I did. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's like fire on your nails. Very, very awesome polish. And then Booties on Broadway is like settling in for this one. One of my all-time favorite Essie polishes ever is After Schoolboy Blazer. It's a really, really dark, deep, deep, deep blue, like almost black. Can only tell it's blue in certain lighting. I really like that. This one, I feel like I need to stick these together. I might have to like redo a clip of the swatches and stick them together because I didn't do it. But this is like a little bit lighter, not much, just enough that I don't think it would be very easily confused for black, but it's still like a really, really nice deep fall color. And honestly, the wide brush and the formula on this, not like the formula on After Schoolboy Blazer is bad, but this has the wide brush on it, which makes me like it more automatically. This might have even knocked After Schoolboy Blazer out as one of my favorites, just because I feel like I like the blue in this one a little bit better. It's slightly more obviously blue. So that is the Essie Fall 2018 collection. Again, I found those at Ulta, a mix between the website and in-store. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.